What is going on, everybody? This is the Game Corner Pocket issue number 7, and I am here briefly to talk about the PS5 and the event from the other day. I said I'd make a video on it as soon as I can. I am on location, as you can see, to South Carolina. I'm sitting here in my room while I'm here during the break. So far, this trip's been alright. No, this room's nice and comfortable. I like the bed to sleep in, very comfortable. Unfortunately, not many things open down here either, so there's not too much to do, but it is what it is. Anyways, I'm here to talk about the PS5. I watched the event live on my phone on the road, and I thought it was pretty cool. I'm going to go over some of the games. Not going to go over all of them. I'm going to go over some of them, at least quite a few. So the event started off with a new Spider-Man game, which is going to be presumably a launch title. It says Holiday 2020 release, which is when the console is supposed to release. This one is Spider-Man Miles Morales, is what it's called. Initially thought to be a expansion on the original game, which came out in 2018 in September. Insomniac Games has clarified yesterday that it is a standalone PS5 game. It is not an enhancement or a remaster or an expansion to the game that came out. So I don't know how to feel about this. At the same time, I like it. As long as it's not a stealth game, entirely a stealth game, because there were stealth segments in the other Spider-Man game. As long as it's not entirely a stealth game, I think I'll buy it and play it. I like Spider-Man, and I'm sure Spider-Man's going to be in the game some way, somehow. And I like those kinds of games, open world, sandbox kind of game. It's pretty fun. Then they showed Gran Turismo 7, which is something I predicted. I said this is the Gran Turismo game the PS4 never got. There is no release date for this one, however, so it's most likely going to be a 2021 release somewhere down the line. And I'm expecting it to get at least one delay, because a big game like that gets at least one delay. The graphics for this game look insanely good. I cannot wait for this game to come out. Gran Turismo Sport, in my opinion, was a big disappointment. While the gameplay was still great, it took out a lot of the things that I loved about the series. The trailer used Trial Mountain in the demo showcase for the event, and I love that track. It's my favorite track in the series, and I love hitting that bridge at the end of the lap and barrel rolling the car across the finish line. That's always fun. So I can't wait for that. Oh my god, it looks so good. I'm not going to go in order, although I did start in order because I'm not going to talk about all the games anyway. So I'm probably going to not mention a few of them from the event. So this is mainly what I thought was interesting. Then they showed a game called Project Athia, or Athia, however you want to pronounce it. Square Enix game. At first I thought it was a new Tomb Raider game, but it's not. I don't know how to feel about that game right now, because it's like a cinematic thing. They didn't really show much of anything with that game, and we're going to get more news on that game at some point. Capcom showed a new Resident Evil game. I don't know if it's called Resident Evil 8 Village or Resident Evil Village. I've seen people calling it by both names so far. That game is slated to come out. I don't remember if it's a 2020 release or 2021 release. But the trailer is online, so we got a new Resident Evil game coming. Personally, I don't care too much for Resident Evil. I'm not a horror game person. The only horror games I've really played was the Bioshock series. You know, if you can call them horror games. I think the first one was probably the scariest out of all three of those games. Um, but Resident Evil is a good time, you know, to watch. I think growing up, you know, if I wasn't playing a game and me and my brother were sharing a room, if he was playing like Silent Hill or Resident Evil or something, I'd sit there and watch him play for a couple hours. I think that's how I easily got into watching Let's Players and streamers too, from doing that back in the day. Capcom also showed off a game called Pragmata, and we're going to get more details about that game in August. They showed what they showed looked pretty interesting. I love Capcom games for the most part, so hey, if it's anything like Devil May Cry or something similar, I'm all for it. Um, I don't exactly remember too much from the Pragmata trailer. I don't remember if that was the third person game. Not the third person game, the first person game that looked like it had shooting elements and stuff to it. That might have been the one. Um, I'm certainly interested in that. So I'm going to pick that up probably when it comes out. It's not supposed to come out though until 2022, I believe. And I was wondering, like, why are they showing that now if the game doesn't come out for like 2 more years? I don't understand it. Um, Sorry guys, I normally edit this stuff out in post, but sweating just a little bit. I don't keep the sweat out of my eyes. Normally I edit that out in post. Can't do that here. I'm recording on my laptop, which means I'm in 30 FPS at 720p again at the moment. Um, they showed the new Horizon game, which I don't remember if I mentioned that we might see that. I think I did, maybe. This one's called Horizon Forbidden West. I wasn't too much. Wasn't very interested in the first one. This one obviously looks much better. Better refined gameplay and graphics, obviously being on the PS5. Another expansive story in the Horizon setting. I think people who really enjoyed the first one probably are going to love this one. Um, they showed Sackboy, a new Little Big Planet style game called Sackboy: A Big Adventure, which I'm hoping you could play it in single player or if it has to be a co-op game, because it looked interesting. Very Little Big Planet esque, with 3D elements to it, so it's not a 2D side scroller this time around. And I liked what I seen. It looked pretty cool. Looked pretty fun to play. I just hope it's not a. I just hope it's not a multiplayer only game because I play most of my games by myself, and I don't like to rely too much on having teammates that I don't know online to play a game, especially to beat a game. This game had no release date, so probably 2021. Now that I think of it, I'm pretty sure Resident Evil was 2021. Gran Turismo also did not have a release date, not even a release window. I believe I mentioned that. So um, they showed a game called Goodbye Volcano High, which I did say we'd probably see at least one anime style game. Um, I don't really care for this as much as I like most anime style games. This one doesn't look like it'll do anything for me, so I didn't really pay attention too much to this one. In fact, I actually skipped part of this trailer because I was a couple, you know, probably about 20 or 30 seconds behind in the video at that point. So that's one game I'm certainly not looking forward to at all. Don't really care about it. They showed another game. I'm trying to think. Oh, they showed NBA 2K21. They showed something for that, and I don't play basketball games, but my brothers do, so I showed them. I didn't even watch that trailer. I held my phone up to the back seat of the car so they could watch that one. So I don't even know. I can't even tell you anything about that one at all. I did say we'd see some kind of sports games too, so I was kind of right in that aspect as well. They showed a game called Godfall by Gearbox Games. I love Gearbox. I love their versions of the Gears of War series. I love Borderlands, and this game looks so friggin' cool. It's a action RPG where you could use guns and weapons like swords, and lances, and spears and stuff, and almost gives me some of that God of War feeling to it. And it looks really fun, and I can't wait for that to come out. I believe that one's going to be a launch title as well. It's supposed to come out holiday 2020. So I'm looking forward to that definitely. That one and Spider Man are probably going to be the two games I get when the console comes out. I'm going to make this, short as possible. So I didn't really mention all the games, obviously. I mentioned almost half of them, at least, that they showed, or at least half of them. They did finally show us the console, which was something I was hoping we would see. They showed us some stuff here, and bear with me as I do this a little slowly. This is another thing that I normally do in post, is put imagery on the screen. So the first thing I'm going to show you is the controller and the charging dock, which is right here. Oh wait, I used the wrong image. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. This here is the controllers on the dock on the left, the controller dock on the right. With this image, I can't tell if the controllers will charge through USB, like with the PS3 and the PS4. So if they don't, this dock will be necessary. I would imagine the PS5 is only going to come with one controller, and maybe they'll put the dock in there. Maybe they'll have one that only charges one controller instead of two. But I'm sure these controllers have to charge some way through USB. It would not make sense otherwise. But the dock can hold up to two controllers, so that's that. And then we have here, hold on a second. Next is the HD camera. And Drew from Derailed, when he saw this on Twitter, somebody else posted it, Joe Cronin, I believe it was. I think Drew asked him what this butt plug looking thing was. I believe he called it a butt plug, and I laughed when I saw that on Twitter, by the way. So this is your new HD camera. This will be what you will use probably in Astro's Playground, or Astro's Playworld, or Playroom. That's what it is. Astro's Playroom, which is a much more refined and expansive thing on the Playroom idea from the PS4. That's another thing they showed during the event. You're going to obviously need the camera for this, I would imagine. So, if not, I could be wrong. But I would just think that's something for the, for the camera. So that's what that is. That's a camera, Drew. It's not a butt plug. Next we have something that's not showing up on my screen. That isn't good. Oh, there we go. So let me clear this image. Okay, here we go. This is the media remote, which most definitely won't come with the console. This is, I'm sure, going to be an accessory, much like the HD camera. This will be for people who use the console as a movie station. I actually do know some people who did use the PlayStation 4 as a movie station and never actually played games on it and only used it as a Blu-ray player. So I would imagine this remote would work for when you're watching DVDs or any digital stuff you may rent or buy on the console. So, and it looks like it's a gray remote instead of white, like the console and or part of the console and the controller. So that looks like it's a little different color. Next, we have this. This is the wireless headset and the USB dongle for the headset. Again, another accessory that will most definitely not come with the console. I'm sure Sony will package some cheap piece of crap with the PS5 as far as the microphone goes, like they did with the PS4. That thing was such crap. I actually lost it like 2 days after I got it with the console, so I never actually used that one. But this looks like a really nice headset. Probably going to be at least $60, $70, I would say, starting. I like the two-tone color. It's got gray and black, or white and black on there. That looks more gray in this image. And of course, the dongle. That's kind of a bad idea because if you ever unplug that from your console, you can very easily lose it. So, kind of wish they had it another way. I can understand why, because this is wireless. But I think wired anything is better than wireless, to be honest. At least with headsets and whatnot, because I heard wireless headsets have some lag in them. So, we have here. So I believe that's all of the things here. Yeah, that's all of those. So this is the console right here. I screwed that up. Fuck off, please. Okay. So this is the console here. You can see two versions of the console when it comes out. If for any reason you don't know what this looks like by now, here it is. You see the controller here, two-tone, white and black. I think this would have been cooler if it was silver and black, but I'll take white. I just don't like white because it gets dirty too easily. So there's two versions of the console. One is digital only, and one is you can noticeably see the disc drive where the CD will go into to play your games, along with all of the accessories. You have the headset, the controller, the HD camera butt plug, and the controller charging dock. There probably will be a bundle sold at some point with some of this stuff. I don't think there will be a bundle with the headset, though I do see a bundle with the media remote and the HD camera being available. And I think the charging dock is going to be a standalone accessory that you can buy if you don't want to charge the controllers with USB. Hopefully they will be chargeable with USB. Honestly, don't see why they wouldn't be. And the headset is going to be a separate thing. I don't see, maybe they might do a bundle with the headset, but I don't think they will. Quite honestly, they should be using USB-C by now instead of micro USB. USB-C is faster, and I kind of like it more. Micro USB is kind of sucks, but so that's the PS5. We finally know what it looks like. It looks great. It looks so much better than that refrigerator of an Xbox that's also coming out. That tall subwoofer box looking thing. And this thing looks 1,000,001 times better than the dev kit spaceship looking version of the PS5. And if you don't want to have to stand your PS5, if you don't want to stand your PS5 up on its side, then don't worry about it because you won't have to. Because here is, hold on. Doing this live is a pain in the ass. Here is the console laying naturally on its side, much like all of the PlayStation consoles before it. So that is how I'll have my console. I might stand it up once in a while, but I don't see a need for it, honestly. So I'm really, really, really looking forward to this console. I was at one point going to try to get both consoles at launch, but it's honestly not feasible. So I'm going to go PlayStation all the way with this over Xbox, like I have done in previous years. Growing up with Nintendo and Sega, I was a Nintendo kid over Sega growing up, although I eventually did have both consoles. When PlayStation entered the mix, I still stuck with Nintendo. I had an N64 over a PlayStation, but I did get the PlayStation almost 3 years after it came out, and I loved it. And then I stuck with PlayStation all the way since the PS2. I got the PS2 over the GameCube and the Sega Dreamcast. I didn't get until it was already discontinued because I got it for Christmas in 2001, so that sucks. Bad timing on that because I know how great of a console the Dreamcast really is. Sad that I missed the short life cycle of that console. Yeah, but I got the PS2 for Christmas in 2000. My brother actually gave me a GameCube, so I never bought one of those. I bought the original Xbox once with some of my birthday money, and my parents helped me pay for the rest. And I didn't really care for the Xbox back then. I didn't keep that one long. I sold it. Didn't care for it. Played a couple games on it. It was eh. I definitely liked PlayStation and Nintendo still much more back then. But yeah, I'm a PlayStation guy more over everything. But I eventually do have everything anyways, like I do right now. I have all three current gen consoles. So I will get the PS5 first. And I'll get the Xbox eventually, hopefully within the first year or so of it coming out. If I have to wait until tax season in 2022, I'll even do that if I have to. But I will get one eventually. Even with the Xbox One, I got that for Christmas in 2015. So, that came out in 2013. So I got that 2 years after it came out. So it is what it is, guys. That's pretty much everything on the PS5 event. The PC Gamer Show was today. I will look over that later. I know Exceed Games, Sega, and Atlas were there. Persona 4 Golden, just to give you a little highlight of the PC Gamer event. Persona 4 Golden has been announced by Atlas Games to be coming to Steam, so I'll be talking about that more on the video with the PC Gamer if I do one. If not, then there's other stuff that I'm going to be covering. Maybe I'll mention that during New Game Plus or something. But there's your one highlight of the PC Gamer Show. I'm going to go through that later on tonight or tomorrow. Probably make a video by Monday on PC Gamer if I like what I see. I'm not covering the Future Games show unless I see something interesting there. I don't even know if that's streamed or how to even watch that, but that's also today too. That actually should be airing now as I record this video and upload it. So I may look at that later too or tomorrow. So I'm going to try to do at least one, maybe two more videos before I leave and go back home on Wednesday morning. So I also bought Dreams today on PS4 from GameStop, brand new for $25. GameStop is open down here, by the way, so got that. Would you believe those bastards don't let you use your Pro membership points right now? If you go into the Members Center on the GameStop app, or I guess on the website, and you try to redeem your points for their coupons or gift cards or whatever, it says sold out. I don't know why, but it pissed me off a little bit because I could have gotten my game for $15 instead of $25. But $25 is still a decent deal, I think, for a game that came out. Was it last year? At some point, or earlier this year? It was last year sometime. I'm more than certain. So I've been really interested in Dreams and the creations that I've seen people post online. So I'm going to be checking that out. May do some streams of it while I'm here, even if I can. If not, that'll be when I get home. I also bought the Pokemon Sword and Shield expansion, so that'll be ready. I probably won't stream that Wednesday because I'll be tired of shit, most likely. So I'll probably stream that Thursday. Uh, and I should be on Derailed tomorrow night, episode 118, probably around 10:30, 11ish p.m. I'm going to talk more about the PS5 with them, get their opinions, what they thought, and stuff like that. So, yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for listening in with this video. And until next time, my name is The Rose, and I'll catch your ass down the road.